The NBA fined the Utah Jazz. Now, I'm watching this story and I'm curious about this because Lauri Markkanen, who is an all-star, he has sat out 9 games. The NBA officially announced yesterday a $100,000 fine for the Utah Jazz for sitting him out of the team's games. Now, like I said, being an all-star, now you're the focus of the NBA. They want to make sure that you're going to be playing, and they call them star players. Teams can be fined for star players, defined as any player who made an NBA all-star game over the course of the last 3 seasons, and if you miss games. Let's say you miss games nationally televised, the NBA Cup games, or if a team representative says one thing about a player's absence while the official injury report says another. I was curious if Lauri Markkanen was injured. Well, apparently he's not. Long-term star player shut down or near shutdown, which is defined as a star player, stops playing, or in the judgment of the league office, begins to play in a materially reduced role. And this would affect the integrity of the game. Markkanen has missed the Jazz last 9 games due to a lower back injury, but is generally understood to be healthy and ready to play. Okay, he's got a low. Who's the one who determined that he has a lower back injury? How do you prove that he doesn't have a lower back injury? And then who's the person who said, no, he's healthy and ready to play? If the league were to find the Jazz guilty of violating the policy a second time, it would be $250,000. A third offense would be $1.25 million. Each subsequent offense increases by $1 million. After the fine was announced, Lauri Markkanen was made available to play in the Jazz game against the Memphis
Grizzlies. All better.
They're obviously tanking. They would love to get Cooper Flagg in Utah, but I don't know how that works. If somebody says, hey, we want you to sit down, like the competitor, I would be like, no. Hey, we really need you to sit down. Yeah, but I'm healthy. Yeah, but for the good of the team, can you sit out 9 games with a lower back injury? And do they use the air quotes when they tell him, what's wrong with me? You've got a lower back injury. I do? Yes. You're going to sit out for 9 games.
Yeah, that's the stomach ache of school 6. You can't prove your stomach doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Yes, Todd.
And what goes into, or who's the panel in the league office that in the judgment of the league office and generally understood to be healthy and ready to play? Those are very vague terms that could use some more explanation.
We did ask the league office, who's the one investigating this? Do you have an independent physician who flies all over the country to be like, all right, LeBron, bring out the groin. Let me see it. Yes, Paulie.
The Jazz are 15-51. Since they started not starting Lauri Markkanen, they've lost 9 of their last 10 games, and their odds are increasing every day. When you look at this rule, don't you think it's the don't push it rule? Lauri Markkanen sat 9 straight games. If he sat 3 games, played a gun, and then sat another 3, I don't think they would have fined him.
I didn't know that they had somebody who is kind of in a clandestine role, seeing if something's nefarious going on. Wait a minute. Let me look at, this is where somebody wins a class action suit against somebody. Oh, I was in a car accident. And then they have those, cameras, those investigators that they see some guy where he's out there swinging the golf club or, he's changing tires on a semi. And then they go, we got you. I don't know if they're doing that with Lauri Markkanen, where they visit his home and go, let me see. I took out the garbage. There's nothing wrong with his back. Is this a good thing? I guess. The shocking part is that Lauri Markkanen would go, okay. If he did, because I think you have to go to him and say, you're not healthy. I'm not? No, you've got a lower back injury. I do? Yes, you do. And we want you to sit out. We want to make sure you're healthy for next season when hopefully we get Cooper Flagg. Yes, Todd.
It's well intended by the league, and I could certainly appreciate that with all the load management and stuff. But I still don't understand how you fully can approve something like that if he does somehow have a legitimate problem that doesn't show up in an X-ray or the average physician report.
I'm going to guess he doesn't have a legitimate injury. I'm guessing. He might still have a lower back injury, but he's not allowed to sit out. Although, didn't the Mavericks say with Anthony Davis with his injury, now with Kyrie injured, and they may shut him down? Well, why are you allowed to shut down Anthony Davis just because Kyrie got hurt? You need to uphold the competitive balance of the league that Dallas can't go, we're just going to roll some guys out there. You still, if Anthony Davis is healthy, you need to put him in the lineup here. Because what are you doing? Tanking? We'll just shut him down. We got nothing to play for. But teams playing you or teams hoping that you put up a good fight against a team they're competing for with the playoff spot, that's the competitive integrity of the game. Yes, Paul.
Do you think we need a name for this rule? I looked on the NBA's website. It's called the Player Participation Policy. And you know I don't like alliteration.
PPP.
Even though my name is Paul Pabst.
PPP.
How about the Kawhi rule? We name it after a player. Is that mean-spirited to name it the Kawhi rule?
Well, how many times have the Clippers been fined for? I mean, Kawhi feels like he's always injured. When he's healthy is when they need to investigate.
Okay, then if you want to go back, the origin of this rule is 2010. The Spurs and Popovich were fined $250,000. It was precedent-setting because it hadn't been done before. He set Duncan, Ginobili, Parker, and Danny Green in a nationally televised game against the Heat. That's the genesis of this entire rule.
He told him to stay home. The game was in Miami. He's like, no, stay home. And then all of a sudden it's like David Stern goes, it's going to cost you. Maybe we call it the pop rule, but that's another P.
Yeah,
be 4 Ps. Yes, Seton.
I definitely didn't see it coming where the Utah Jazz, they need to tank, so they're like, all right, better get Markkanen out of there then. Sit him. Sit him. We got to lose these games.
It's not like you go, boy, if we don't sit him, we're going to be winning a ton of games.
I know. We're just going to be rolling through the rest of the league if we don't sit him.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when I'm looking at this one article and they say Markkanen is a, quote, star player. He has quotes around star player.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know if star player should have quotes around it.
Hey, he was an all-star in 2023, okay? It says star player, air quotes.
In this case, it has to have quotes because it's a designation, not an opinion.